Call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials, grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
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 Roll call, please.
Allen?
Here.
LaFour?
Here.
Mistravich?
Here.
Rindell?
Here.
Ricks?
Here.
Schultz?
Here.
Warren?
Here. Good to see everybody here tonight. Approval of minutes for the regular meeting of January 3rd would be in order.
Motion. Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion on those minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Audience comments on any non-agenda items? Is anybody here for non-agenda items? I didn't think so. We're going to move on. Adoption of agenda. Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City Council, any changes? Motion to accept the agenda as presented would be in order.
I'll make the motion. Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There is no discussion on the consent agenda motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to public hearing for the use of fiscal year 24-25 CDBG funds. Mr. City Manager?
Tonight, we're scheduled to have a public hearing regarding the distribution of our fiscal year 24-25 Community Development Block Grant allocation. We received this money as an entitlement county, and so it funnels through Macomb County Planning and Economic Development. And this year, we're scheduled to receive $4,930 for public service projects. And then, as has been recent past, all of the capital improvement or bricks and mortar dollars are done on a competitive basis. We've received monies in the past to do automatic door openers at the library, community center, and City Hall. So this year, we're going back, and our recommendation is to do several ADA ramps along Oak Street.
Thank you. We need a motion to open up the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing for the use of the fiscal year 2024-2025 CDBG funds at 7:03 p.m.
Support.
So made and supported. Did you have anything that you wanted to add to this?
Nope. Just if any
Yep.
public service organizations are here, please
Yes.
come out.
Yep, certainly. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, this is Sheila McCann with Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers. We are located in Roseville, but we do service all of Macomb County and parts of Oakland County. For over 30 years, our organization has been providing free basic assistance to hundreds of frail and older physically challenged adults, helping them remain safely in their homes with the help of over 200 volunteers. Such assistance have been helping older and disabled adults with transportation, chores, and respite breaks, errands, and loneliness. These opportunities provide fulfilling experiences for those who wish to volunteer, as well as support for those in need. With the number of older adults in Macomb County rapidly increasing, the need for support will continue to do so well into the future. The CDBG Safe at Home project of IVC is a part of a larger chore and repair program for older and disabled adults. The project was developed to provide additional chore and repair services in communities that allocate funding for this purpose. The project allows us to assist low and moderate income seniors and physically challenged adults with indoor and outdoor chores, minor home repairs, and routine housekeeping. We identify individuals who cannot do these tasks on their own and have limited resources and prioritize those greatest in need. We are requesting the CDBG funds to increase the number of low-income citizens that we can reach to grow our program, as well as coordinate the volunteers that do these services. In 2023, we are able to serve over 470 clients, with almost 200 being served at the Safe at Home program. With this funding year half over, we have already almost doubled the amount of completed tasks compared to the number projected, and we're confident it is due to the additional CDBG funding that we've been receiving. While we have been able to support a few residents of Richmond over the years, we would love to expand our support, including the Safe at Home project, further into the community. We received funding from Richmond to this current program year. We are working to offer this important support to service Richmond residents. We hope to continue funding for the 2024-2025 program year, so we can continue to build this momentum and offer this service to more of those in need. We are requesting the CDBG funding in this upcoming year so we can maintain a pattern of increasing these number of tasks completed. The appreciation for the assistance is heartwarming for seniors such as Dave, whose porch we repaired, that was able to safely take his wheelchair-bound wife to the doctor. She had lost the ambition, also like a citizen like Pam, who lost the ambition to organize and declutter her home, until one of our volunteers assisted her and helped her find the motivation again. 12 hours of volunteer assistance to a senior whose tree fallen in the yard after a storm. There are many different examples that I could read, like replacing locks, washing windows, raking leaves, routine housekeeping, installing smoke alarms. With the CDBG funding, this project can grow and assist can be granted to a variety of low-income seniors and disabled adults. Thank you to the board and everyone here tonight for your consideration. Any dollar amount granted is greatly appreciated to our program, and we want to thank you for the funds you have granted us. If you know any senior who might utilize our service and could use some assistance, or looking to give the gift of time as a volunteer, please let us know by calling our office or visiting our website at www.ivcinfo.org. I can answer any questions if anybody has any.
Questions, council, at this point? No, we're good.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming. Is there a motion to close?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for the use of fiscal year 2024-2025 CDBG funds at 7:08 PM.
Support. Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to item number one, consideration of fiscal year 2024 CDBG funding allocations. Mr. City Manager.
Now that we've held the public hearing, we need to move on and actually allocate the funds. As we've done in past years, we did include the background information provided by the county that outlines all of the nonprofit organizations that are eligible to be funded by the city council and the amounts that the county deems them eligible for funds from Richmond. Due to all of the paperwork associated with CDBG funds, the county does ask that we keep our funding levels to each organization what they are recommending. So those funding organizations are Care House, Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers, McCrest, and Turning Point. If we fully, we get a total in the public service dollars of $4,930. If we fully fund those four organizations, which we have in recent years, that would leave $1,790 that we would put towards the senior coordinator position.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to allocate $4,930 of the fiscal year 2024-2025 CDBG funding to the following public service programs. Care House in the amount of $1,200. Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers in the amount of $148. McCrest in the amount of $792. Turning Point in the amount of $1,000. Senior Services Coordinator in the amount of $1,790.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion on this? This is what we have done in the past,
Yes.
as you stated. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We also need a motion for the ADA ramps project here. Is there a motion?
Make the motion to apply for $95,700 of the fiscal year 24-25 CBD funding, competitive funding for the proposed ADA ramp project on Oak Street at the intersections of Bartell, Beyer, and Prestep.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this?
Again, these are competitive projects, so we won't know until
Yeah.
somewhat later whether we're actually funded. We've been, like I said, successful with the door opener projects, but this is a little bit bigger ask, but we're hopeful.
Any other discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 2, consideration of MML Capital Conference. Mr. City Manager?
Each spring, the Michigan Municipal League holds their annual Spring Capital Conference and Expo. This year, it's March 12th through the 13th at the Lansing Center at the state capitol. In the past, we've asked council if there's anyone interested in going, just so that we can have the city clerk do the registration and hotel arrangements and everything.
Okay, if council would drop the, our normal order of business, and so we can find out who would like to attend that. Is there a consensus to drop our normal order of business at this point?
Yep.
Okay. Mike, were you interested this year?
Of course, I'm interested, yes.
Are you?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. 2 years ago, Emily went to it. Last year, we did not go. And Emily has indicated she did think she could get away this year due to work. Is that correct? Is there anybody else that would care to go to this? I had thought about it, but it did end up being the wrong, I'm already committed on the 12th. So,
I'll go.
you're good?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Can we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to attend the annual, or Mike Misterovich, to attend the annual MML Spring Conference and Expo that will be held on March 12th, March 13th at the Lansing Center in Lansing, Michigan, with expenses charged to appropriate line item, City Council Conference workshops.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion? We appreciate you going over there again.
I appreciate the opportunity to go, because I'm also on a board there, the Elected Officials Academy, so.
That's right,
We
yeah.
do meet at that time.
Do
so,
you?
yeah.
Okay, great, great. Okay, any other discussion? Any audience participation on this item? Back to the table, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We thank you again, Mike. Item number 3, consideration approving resolution 2024-1, resolution opposing water affordability legislation. Mr. City Manager.
City Council is scheduled to consider approving Resolution 2024-1, a resolution opposing water affordability legislation as presented in the legislature. Several water affordability bills have been introduced in Lansing, and while the bill's proponents claim that they have had extensive discussions with stakeholders, those discussions have not included those responsible for providing water and sewer services or setting local rates. The concerns have also been raised by Macomb County Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller. Almost all of the communities in Macomb County have either passed similar resolutions or at their meetings this week are considering these resolutions. One of the bigger kind of failings of the legislation that everyone has been discussing is that funds generated through any of these proposed bills don't stay within the community or even in the county that they're generated from. So they could go over across the state, up north, anywhere, and they don't stay to help the people that they're being generated off of. The other issue is that Macomb Community Action already does an excellent job of kind of taking these requests and matching people with programs that offer this assistance. So again, this, in my opinion, or many of the people that have been looking at this, it's trying to make a one-size-fits-all on a legislation that probably isn't effective.
Thank you. Is there a motion before discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-1, a resolution opposing water affordability legislation as presented in the legislature.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Discussion? Emily?
I would just like to say that I'm glad to see this on the agenda tonight. I work for Macomb Community Action, so I'm very familiar with the RAP program, which is offered to Macomb County residents. However, it does not apply to the city of Richmond. So, just, to consider that we'll have an increase on, our water bills doesn't seem appropriate to me if this were to pass, especially since we can't participate in the already existing water assistance program that the county offers, so.
Anybody else? Doesn't make sense that we're going to charge every single meter in the city of Richmond $24 a year starting out for something we don't even get any use out of. Besides being on our own system, our water is expensive enough because we choose to have our own system and not be on a system that evidently isn't making enough money to pay the bills there. So I think it's very important that we all stand up against this type of legislature move. Doesn't make any sense. Anything else? Audience participation on this item at all? Back to the table? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Final item here is consideration of special event request, Commercial House, Bibs and Brews. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider approving a special event request from Commercial House for their Bibs and Brews event. The event would be February 24th, noon to 5 p.m. They would request the parking lot from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. For setup and takedown. They would like to have live music with bands, outdoor games such as cornhole, also a chili cook-off. The chili cook-off would also be a fundraiser for the Richmond Volunteer Fire Department. And then in conjunction, they'd also have different vendors there associated with Commercial House. Last year, I believe last year they started this event and they borrowed the burn barrels that we had for the tree lighting, and they'd like to do that again this year. So last year when our DPW dropped off the barricades and stuff for them, they dropped off several of the burn barrels in case it's very cold. And then I believe they get tents from StarCraft that they use for their July annual event for people. And then Brianne and Craig are here tonight. Do you have any questions?
Would you like to add to any of that?
No, he covered everything. Yep. Very thorough.
I thought maybe you like some mic time, to promote your event here.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun last year. We had about 100 people. I think we raised almost shy of $1,000 for the fire department just by doing the chili cook-off, so it was really cool. I don't think we probably won't have a tent this year. The hours are going to be shorter this year than they were last year. So we're definitely learning from that, but we're just hoping to do it again because it was a lot of fun.
Good. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the special event request from Commercial House for their Bibs and Brews event on Saturday, February 24th, 2024, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., including a tent and outdoor music.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Any other audience participation in the back there? No? Okay, we'll bring it back. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Good luck. Miscellaneous matters from the city manager, sir.
We offered this to the planning commission. Not every year do we have a planning commission member that's interested. When we met with Terry Gibb from the MSU Extension, they do have a program that's called the Citizen Planner. You may see a couple of these flyers on your table tonight. If it is open to council members as well, so if anyone's interested, they can reach out to Troy or I, and we can tell you more about the program. And then just a reminder, I have this coming Friday and Monday off, using some of my leave time.
Very good, thank you, sir. We move on to council comments. Jim?
You guys picked the right Sunday to take down the ornaments.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah.
Would have been a little bit brisk out there
Yeah,
yesterday.
would have. Wow. Yeah, we were lucky. Emily?
I'm all set, thank you.
John?
I'm all set, thank you.
Yep.
Dennis?
Nothing.
Nothing to add, thank you.
Well, we've got a few things. Evidently, I should have kept my mouth closed last council meeting when I said we didn't have anything to announce, but we got it this week. City of Richmond Recreation Department, chili cook-off, Saturday, February 3rd, will run from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. That's going to be held at the Civic Auditorium, right there on Main Street. There is a $10 entry fee. Any questions that you may have, 727-3064. That's City Parks and Rec. Beginners Yoga is going to be on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. The first class was on January 8th. The last class is on May 22nd. This is a $8 drop-in per person, or you can buy a punch card. That is, again, a Park and Rec program. Again, questions, 727-3064. We have 2 classes in one day. Strength and Balance, Thursdays, 9 to 10. And this other one's called Young at Heart. A cardio class is on Thursdays, 10:15 to 11 a.m. $6 drop-in, or again, $30 for a punch card. This is going to be, again, held at the Richmond Community Center, 727-3064, if you have any questions. Hall walking continues at the Richmond Lee Elementary School, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. It started in November, and it will end April 11th. It's from 6 to 8 o'clock. There's a drop-in fee of $1 per evening. There is also a punch card where you get a deal there. 10 years old and older. Again, any questions? It's put on by our Parks and Rec, 727-3064. We've got a new one here, a craft supply swap on January 27th from 11 to 1 o'clock at the Lois Wagner Memorial Library. Drop off any of your unwanted but still usable craft supplies to the library and receive a ticket for a 10 a.m. early entry to the swap. General admission begins at 11 a.m. Donating is not required to participate. Any questions, call our library, 727-2665. And this is Adventures in STEM, Valentine's Day cards. Join us as we make Valentines that light up using STEM. Okay, I'm not sure what STEM is. This is February 12th at 3:30 at the library for ages 7 to 13. Again, any questions, 727-2665 to be added to the list. There is a limit of the first 20 people that call in. Today being the 15th of January, we do have an EDC meeting that does not appear on your calendar for this Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here at City Hall. And on the 24th, there will be a TIFA meeting right here at City Hall. That is going to take us through January already, and our next regular city council meeting will be at 7 p.m. on February 5th. The chili cook-off, as mentioned, will be that first Saturday in February at the Odd. Is there anything else that we need to add to the calendar at this time? If not, we move on. There is no closed session. Is there any other business of the city council to be had tonight?
I just missed one thing on my comments when Councilor Schultz talked about cold weather. We finally got some, so DPW started working on the ice rink today.
Oh, good,
So,
very good.
Yeah, it's been kind of difficult to do it when it's been in the 40s and
Yeah.
50s. So, but this week we're hoping to
See what happens.
get some ice.
Next week it'll probably be 40 or
Well,
50
you know,
again, yeah.
do what you can.
Is there anything else, council? If not, Michael?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There's no discussion on the adjournment motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thanks for being with us.